I'm a man of faith, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and a grandfather with 20 years in the fire service, firefighter, paramedic, currently serving the community as a lieutenant. I have conservative values, I'm heavily involved in my church, I volunteer, and education and public safety is a top priority for me. I want to be elected by the people and speak for the people who can't speak for themselves. Why am I running for county council? Well, first of all, my property taxes have rose 39% in just this last year alone. That rate, it's pretty heavy on me. So I know that families that are also affected by my neighbors and my family, my daughter, everyone's having these tough property taxes and facing the same challenges. The county has more than enough money. I believe the county employees deserve raises, and Amy Drake could have provided relief to all homestead property owners and failed to do so. Leadership is about proper decision making, and I want to represent what the people feel are the most important issues. Now, before we go and talk about raises and taxes, where do we stand as a county with finances? Unlike the top corner of this TV, we are not broken. The county is wealthy. In my opinion, a little too wealthy. The county has been overtaxing us. The county has padded its bank accounts instead of giving us the property tax relief that we want and need. As you can see from part of this graph, the 2023 surplus was at $27 million. The 2024 and 2025 surpluses were at $18 million. That brought our current cash balance to $140 million. That's 59% of expenditures, 3 times the gold standard. The gold standard is 20% of expenditures, which would be about $48 million. That's the gold standard. The county has $90 million in excess reserves. How did we get here? We've had an explosive growth in revenue. Our economy is thriving and it's strong. Our jobs are strong. We have increased property values and new data centers, as well as a battery plant that help contribute to our growing rates. The county property tax revenue in 2025 was a total of $68 million. From homes alone, that was $39 million. In 2026, with SB 1, the property tax revenue is estimated to be an increase of 3.1%. There's no financial crisis in 2026. The county income tax revenue has grown 67% in the last 3 years, from $32 million to $54 million. We talked about how much money the county has. Now let's talk about raises. Raises for county employees. This is an important topic for me. Do we have enough money to do it? Is the county rich or poor? Well, I've identified that the cash balance is at $140 million. 59% of expenditures, 3 times above the gold standard rate. Drake says the county is too poor and we can't afford to give county employees raises. Does the county have the money for the raises? 2025 alone, with a surplus of $18 million, I would say yes. The cost of raises is $2.1 million. The county does indeed have money for raises, but Drake voted against bonuses to mitigate the no raise policy. All of us have been hit with rising property taxes. Well, almost all of us. County property taxes have rose for some people 10.8%. 1 in 9 properties have had their taxes double in the last 3 years. That's 12 times the rate of inflation. More than 1 in 4 people have had their property taxes go up 50% in the last 3 years. That's 6 times the rate of inflation. And again, my personal property taxes have rose by 39.4% just this last year alone. In 2023, the county surplus was $27 million. Property tax revenue from homes, $36.5 million. This is a number that I want you to keep in mind as we move forward. The surplus was 80% of property taxes paid by homeowners. In 2023, Indiana Property Tax Relief Bill passed, giving counties the authority to issue property tax rebates to all homestead owners. Amy Drake did nothing to take advantage of this law. Under the Clayton tax plan, I would return 75% of any budget surplus to the taxpayers. I would have voted for a $20 million tax rebate during this time. Homeowners would have had a 60% tax cut on your county portion of your tax bill, while the county would have still had a healthy $7 million surplus. So let's compare tax plans. Drake passed a tax cut that only applied to 7% of homeowners. When asked for the tax cut for everyone else, Drake said no. Again, 75% of any budget surplus is in my tax plan going back to taxpayers. Every homeowner would qualify. The last 3 years, the average would be 45% cut in property taxes for all homeowners. Under the Drake plan, you must be 55 years of age, you must have lived in your home for 10 years, and only 7% of homes qualify for the tax cut. What about the other 93% of us? Drake says no. The 2026 proposal is a tax deferment, not a cut. You still must pay when the home is sold, and the burden is still there for the homeowners. The second option is to spread those taxes over 12 months. You still pay the same amount. How does this help with affordability? The truth is, it doesn't. The law that both the Clayton plan and the Drake plan use have sunsets. What does that mean? It means these ideas kind of go away. This is true with a lot of bills that are introduced. They have a certain time frame that they're associated with. They provide tax relief to all under the Indiana tax rebate law. I'm in favor of extending this. Drake says no to the extension. Under her plan, the 55-plus 10-year law, it also has a sunset. It provides tax relief, but only to the 7% that are currently affected. Drake favors the extension, and so do I. I think everybody is in need of some assistance. So, with the new SB 1 bill, we've got some changes coming. It contains mechanisms for property tax relief, and I will research any and all options to provide the best widespread property tax cuts to all homeowners. Drake says no to all tax cut options except for the 55-plus 10-year tax cut. She says it's just not an option. Let's talk about spending. Amy Drake is a rhino on spending. Drake has voted for growth and spending at an average of 2.5 times the inflation rate. Spending has grown from $191 million to $248 million since Drake took office. This is a 30% increase. I will vote no on any budget if the total spending grows more than the previous year plus inflation. Under this current growth rate, from what has actually occurred to what would have happened if we would have went with my plan, you can see a difference of $33 million. If we went with the previous year plus inflation, we'd be at $215 million, but our actual current spending is $248 million. Remember, property tax revenue from homeowners was at $39 million. Conservative spending alone would add significant relief to homeowner property taxes. Some new information was brought to my attention over the last few days. One of the local news blogs took a look at the property tax bills for the county council members. Amy Drake had a 6.8% decrease on her home taxes. Joe Thomas had a 7.2% decrease. Randy Figg had a 12.6% decrease. Andy Rutten had a 34.6% decrease. Mark Root, 18.3% decrease. Ryan Tanner, 21.3% decrease. John Murphy, 8.3% decrease. Mary Wisniewski, 9.8% decrease. And Jamie O'Brien, the current attorney at the time, had a 5.9% decrease. While Matt Clayton and you guys all seen an increase, mine was 39.44%. That's significant. How did 9 out of 11 council and county leaders get such large tax cuts while the rest of us received increases? I would call for an independent outside investigation into the treasurer's office to verify the correct calculations of the tax bills for county leaders, because no special treatment should be given for elected officials. In conclusion, the county has money. Employees deserve raises, and property owners, they deserve relief. Amy Drake says no to widespread tax relief. I say yes. Ways that you can support me: you can head to my website, votemattclayton.com. If you like what I stand for, spread the word. because that's the way that I'm going to get elected. And don't forget, no matter what your position, get out and vote Matt Clayton on May 5th. I'm Matt Clayton, I fight fires, and I'll fight for you. Thank you for your time.